Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. If you're new, my name's Sarah. Welcome. So today we are going to pick some onions and make some balsamic onion jam. I've been waiting until my canning lids arrive so that I could can up some of this. Our delivery was a little bit late this week. It's actually coming in an hour or two, and I'm going to have to go meet my pickup. But our driver was in an accident in California, so he's fine, and I'm really grateful for that. But I will be very happy to actually have my canning lids. Sorry about that. Something was buzzing my head. But anyway, the main reason I brought you guys out here with me for the onion harvest is because I wanted to show you this scale. I think they actually marketed this as for weighing fish for fishermen, but 2 years ago, I had a bumper crop of tomatillos. I think I made like 30 pints of salsa verde, and the recipe I was using called for a specific poundage of tomatillos. And so I started out the season, I would come out, I would pick tomatillos, I was kind of eyeballing it. I would go back in the house and have to weigh them. And then if I didn't have enough, I would come back out here. Well, I got this thing, and you can dangle your bucket, and then I was weighing it as I was out here, and it just made things so much simpler. So our balsamic onion jam recipe, it calls for 2 pounds of onions, and I thought it was a great excuse to get our little scale out. This recipe called for sweet onions. Ooh, my onions are definitely ready to come out. You can see that top just broke off. But we've had so much rain, I was sort of waiting for them to dry out a little bit. I don't think they're going to cure very well. So that is why we're going to do things like make onion jam. Just with the busy year that we had this year, I did not quite weed like I should have. And by should have, I mean at all. I just didn't really have the time this year. I have quite the variety of sizes, you guys. I have some that are tiny like this guy, and then I have really nice ones like this. So we'll just keep picking and figure out what we need. If you are new, I do like to clean my onions up some out here in the garden. Just snip off the tops, especially because mine are not really good for anything at this point. It was just too wet this year. And pull off some of these dirty outer layers. And I actually will rinse them off in the hose because I just don't want to take all of that extra dirt in the house. So I'm going to work through the onions I've picked, weigh them, and see how we're doing on weight and if I need to pick any more. So I've got a nice amount of onions here peeled. I'm going to rinse them off. It's one of the things I like about using the buckets is they have holes and you can actually rinse them in the bucket. I'll get them clean the rest of the way once we get in the house. But this way I don't put a lot of dirt down my septic tank. Okay, where did I put my scale? Here we go. Let's see what they weigh. I can get it hooked on. 2.4 pounds. So I picked a little bit more than I needed, and we'll just have some extra onions in the house. Made it back from my Azure Standard pickup, got my lids, very happy about that. And I got my onions all cleaned up and diced up. So I'm gonna put these in my pot. But while I'm doing that, I thought I would talk about the pectin. I picked some new pectin up while I was out because I didn't realize that pectin had a use by date on it. And I haven't really used pectin very much in my canning. I have traditionally made like the jams that you just cook down until they thicken without pectin, but this recipe calls for a low sugar pectin. So when I looked at the little jar I had of pectin, it said it was best by sometime in 2023. And I didn't know if pectin could go bad or not. So I got on Google and looked it up, and it turns out that pectin doesn't go bad in a way where it's a safety issue, but it loses its ability to gel after a while. We certainly don't want to put the time and effort and our homegrown products into a jam or jelly that's not gonna set. So I stopped by the store and grabbed some pectin, and now I know I need to use it within a certain amount of time or it's not gonna be good for me. Some of you probably already knew that, but it was new information to me. All right, onions are ready to go on the stove. Now that our onions are ready to cook, we're gonna add several more ingredients. So we need half a cup of maple syrup. I'm using a 1/4 cup measure here, so we'll do 2 of them. We also need half a cup of balsamic vinegar. We need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of black pepper. And a bay leaf. Now that we've got all of our ingredients in here, we are going to turn our burner onto a medium heat. And we're supposed to cook this for about 15 minutes until our onions are translucent. Here's what our onion mixture is looking like after the 15 minutes of cooking at medium heat. The onions definitely look nice and translucent now. The next thing we need to do is add both our pectin, which is 3 tablespoons of pectin, and our 2 cups of apple juice. It says we want to stir this in and bring it to a rolling boil that we cannot stir down. Oh, that apple juice smells really good once it hit the jelly. Jam. What is this called? It's a jam. We're getting close. We're not quite there. You can see when we stir, the bubbles go down a little bit, but we're very close. Okay, so we cannot stir this down anymore. So now we're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm going to stir that in and bring it back to a full rolling boil. Now that we are back to a rolling boil, it says to set a timer for 1 minute. Should maybe have done this in a deeper pot. I just had some spit on me. Well, our time is up. We want to remove it from the heat and jar it up. We do need to get that bay leaf out of there as well. Now we just need to jar up our jam. It's not thick currently. I guess maybe it sets up as it thickens. Like I said, I'm much more of a cook it until it comes to a certain temperature kind of jelly and jam maker normally. You don't have a whole lot of experience with things that use pectin. And check our headspace. Could use just a smidge more. I'm gonna grab a paper towel and put some vinegar on it so I can wipe the rim of our jar down. You can just use water, but I like to use vinegar when I've got something sticky or fatty that I'm canning. I feel like it cuts it a little bit better and helps get the rim extra clean. Okay. See if I can actually hold this while I put the ring on. It's really hot. I'll use a oven mitt. Fingertip tight. Make sure we get it good this time. If you were with me when I canned beans recently and one of my lids popped off, that is much less likely to happen with water bath canning. I am going to use an old lid for one of these jars because I think we'd like to open it up and try it. If we really like it, we might want to make some more of it with some of our other onions. Y'all, I should have put an apron on. I know better, but here I am with spots on my shirt. There's a little bit of this left, so I think I'm actually gonna, oh, so hot. I'm gonna set that jar aside. And I would like to see how much we actually have left because I might put a real new lid on that if we have enough here that's enough for us to give this a good try. I think we do. So yeah, about a quarter cup of it. I think I'm going to use a real lid on this one because that's plenty for us to give it a try and find out if we like it or not. So now we're going to pop our lid on here, turn our heat up, and bring this to a rolling boil. This is going to can for 15 minutes once we get it up to that rolling boil. Our timer went off, so I am going to remove our lid and let these jars sit here in the water for about 5 minutes. Then we will pull them out of our canner. Well, guys, here we have it. Our 5 canned jars of balsamic onion jam. I did put that half a jar in the fridge, and just in the like 20 minutes it's been in there, it has already started to set up. So if you're like me and you didn't know, it does need to cool in order to set. I'm really happy to see that it's thickening up. I think that we'll probably come back tomorrow after it's fully set and try making the salad dressing that the canning book recommends making with this. It has Dijon mustard and thyme in it. It sounds really delicious. And so I figure let's actually put it to the test and see how we like it in one of the recipes they recommend. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Good afternoon, you guys. Well, our balsamic jam definitely set up, so I'm really happy about that. And I've made us a couple of salads here. Nothing too exciting. We've got lettuce, some rotisserie chicken, carrots from the garden, pickled eggs. What else did I put in there? Dried cranberries and pumpkin seeds. If you're interested in the pickled eggs, I'll link the video below. I have a video where I made those. They're one of our favorite things. But we're going to turn that balsamic onion jam into the salad dressing from the book. So I've got a clove of garlic in there. I need half a cup of, it calls for olive oil. I only have avocado oil, so we'll just make do with what we've got. Let me see. I have to be honest with you guys, my brain is not feeling fully functional at the moment. I got up this morning and harvested all of my root veggies. That'll be in a different video for you guys. But I didn't eat anything before I did that, and now I really need some food. We need 2 teaspoons of Dijon. If you've been around, you guys know I'm an eyeballer. calls for 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, which is a little bit interesting to me since the jam is a balsamic jam, but we're gonna do what they say. Let me double check. We need half a teaspoon of dried thyme. I am gonna get a measuring spoon for this. Half a teaspoon of salt. It calls for more black pepper. I am not gonna add that because, to be honest with you, the jelly is a little bit more peppery than I care for. So I think there's gonna be plenty just from the half a cup of jelly that's in here. But that's the only change I'm really making. And then they have you make this in a regular blender. I'm doing it with my immersion blender because it's easier to clean up. There we go, as easy as that. One of the things I like about using the immersion blender is you don't have to just drizzle your oil in, which is what the recipe calls for. The immersion blender takes care of it, no problem. I'm actually gonna use my finger here and give that a taste. Oh, that's super good, you guys. So I'm just gonna drizzle this over our salads. I think this one is mine. Get in here and give it a taste with some of the other salad ingredients. Try not to make a mess. Y'all, this is a fantastic salad dressing. I may need to make some more of this jam just so I have it on hand for making the dressing. I think the jam would be really good on burgers as well, which was my original thought, but this is delicious. So we will probably eat more of it like this than I thought we would. So I will link the recipes down below. I found where somebody had actually written up the ball jam recipe on their website. And so I'll just link that one and I'll see if I can find the recipe for the salad dressing written up. If not, I'll write it up for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope this will inspire you to pull out your canning books and try some of the recipes that maybe sound a little bit stranger, because this is totally a winner. We will definitely be making more of the salad dressing. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.